Honorable nominee, in 2018, you sued the government over an agreement with the United States of America, a military base in our country. You confirm being the plaintiff in the suit?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
The time you issued the writ, or you caused your lawyers to issue the writ, had you read the said agreement? In all sincerity.
Mr. Chairman, I had an idea about the content at the time.
Honorable nominee, before you issue a writ questioning an agreement, you as the one pursuing a legal relief should have read in full to convince yourself that the details are not in the best interest of the country. And my question to you is that, had you any opportunity to read in detail? Just be honest with the facts.
Mr. Chairman, I had read the agreement. Maybe not in detail, but I had read the document.
So, in your reading of the agreement, what did you find?
Mr. Chairman, I found the agreement between the United States government and the government of Ghana on military cooperation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I don't get it. I'm saying, you said when you read, what did you find?
Mr. Chairman, one of the things that I identified with the agreement was that it was not signed. There was no signatories to the agreement. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Did you go to court because of the lack of signatories to the agreement or the content of the agreement?
Mr. Chairman, the lack of signatories was one of the grounds that I challenged that agreement. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, do you immediately recollect the signatories but not the content of the agreement?
Mr. Chairman, I'm saying that the agreement was unsigned and presented to Parliament. And I, in my reading of Article 75, I believe so, that an executed agreement shall be presented to Parliament. And so, per my understanding, an executed agreement should have signatories indicating the agreement. And so that was one of the grounds challenging the procedure in presenting the agreement before Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
At the time you were doing your service in Parliament, or you were working in Parliament?
Mr. Chairman, I don't remember exactly the month it was, yes. I did my service in Parliament the latter part of 2018. I may have to check. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And what was the outcome of the case?
Mr. Chairman, the Supreme Court ruled that an agreement between two countries presented, in the case of Ghana, presented to Parliament for ratification does not necessarily require signatories, and that interpreting that signatories must be on may be a narrow and strictest view in interpreting the Constitution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You have a document with you, a 2-page publication.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Can you are familiar with that document?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I remember, not the document, but I remember a story like that.
Okay. Can you read the content?
Mr. Chairman, the document has a heading, Graphic Online. And the headline story is NDC Youth Organizer disqualified for forgery of signatures. And it comes down, story written by Daniel K. Kenu. And it goes, Mr. Chairman, should I read the content?
So basically, you were disqualified in your primaries because of those allegations, correct?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so why were you disqualified in your primaries?
Mr. Chairman, I was never disqualified. I contested and won the parliamentary primaries and represented my party in the 2016 elections.
So what do you say to that publication?
Mr. Chairman, it's a false publication. It has no merit, and even the fact it does not support exactly what...
Check the date of the publication.
So the date is September 23rd, 2015.
So what was published by Graphic Online, which you have with you, is false?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Did you rebut it? Did you write a rejoinder?
Mr. Chairman, I did. In fact, this is the first time I'm seeing this story, but it was reported in the news that I had been disqualified, and I responded to it, I refuted it, I supported it with pictures when I submitted my nomination, and I went into the contest and won that primaries.
Okay. So, since you rebutted it in a statement or interview, I think I would leave it there. But just to bring clarity, did you put out a statement to rebut this false publication, or did you grant an interview to rebut this publication?
Mr. Chairman, I granted interviews to rebut the publication. Thank you.
Then in November 2024, you are quoted to have alleged that the NPP was training Delta Force militants at the Bondase military camp, which was a facility we had with the support from the U.S. government. Upon raising these concerns, you also wrote an open letter to the United States Embassy, suggesting that such activities could undermine the upcoming elections. First, did you write to the U.S. Embassy on this matter?
No, Mr. Chairman. It was a Facebook post. It was like an open...
So that's what, yes, I've referred to it as an open letter. So you did?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's in reference to
that
post, yes. But I didn't write any formally.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The emphasis here is an open letter. So it was on your Facebook wall.
Yes,
correct?
Mr. Chairman.
Now, the allegation itself, you had a basis for it, that indeed it was a military, the NPP Delta Force militants were being trained at Bondase military camp. Did you have a basis? Was there some evidence of that training, or it was a political statement? Because I can understand that it was in November, and in November we're all in the heat of the elections. Could it have been a political statement as part of strategy to knock off your opponent, or it was based on some verifiable facts, evidence of actual training and all?
Mr. Chairman, it was based on some information that had come to the attention of the directorate which I work with.
Now you are going into a very sensitive area. You see how posterity deals with us as political actors. Now you are going to be there wearing that shoe, that sensitive shoe. Tell us, did you verify that information prior to you putting it out?
Mr. Chairman, as you rightly stated, it was in the heat of the campaign. And so once that disturbing information was received, I thought that I should make it public in order that if there was anything like that, it could be stopped. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Having come to terms with the fact that indeed you did not validate the information, neither did you verify same, what have you to say to the people of Ghana in respect of that discretion you exercise?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we all operate in this space, and we are all humans. We may get it wrong sometimes. And so, even though I did not pursue the matter again or have any rebuttals, once I did not have physical evidence of NPP Delta Force vigilantes training at the Bondasi, I think that going forward, we need to cross-check and recheck information before we put it out. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Again, you remember that somewhere in October, there was this issue of vacant seats in Parliament. You remember that issue?
Mr. Chairman, October last year.
That is so.
Yes, I remember.
And you recall the Speaker's opinion became a subject matter of a Supreme Court suit by my very self. You remember?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that you were the applicant in that case.
No, I was a plaintiff applicant.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
A plaintiff applicant. I mean, just for purpose of education, I invoked the original jurisdiction of the court and then made an application for some interim reliefs on the back of the main issue. Now, did you comment publicly on the outcome of the case?
Mr. Chairman, it's possible because I'm an activist, so I...
Honorable nominee, thus far, you have been straight on the issues, and this approach will help disengagement. You are now entering a sensitive area, and I will not begrudge you. It's not a matter of it is possible. I'm asking you that did you write on this matter after the Supreme Court ruled? Let's be very fair.
Mr. Chairman, I think so.
Right. Now, you are a law student. You are studying for your LLB. And you know that the judiciary has its independence. Of course, you can question the independence of the judiciary based on evidence. Do you think that it was appropriate for you to have written that because you believe that part of the CJ is from Winneba, and the fact that I am the MP for Winneba, you were therefore questioning the justice delivery in the matter? Do you think that it was very fair and appropriate, those comments that came from you in a Facebook post?
Mr. Chairman, I remember that Facebook post, and I think that I was trying to generate discussion and have people talk about it. In the post, I hardly made conclusions. I was trying to put facts and leave it for the general public to discuss it. I don't think that I impugned any ill motive at yourself or the Chief Justice. And as you rightly said, as somebody who is crawling at the law, hardly will I engage in that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I would want you to freshen your memory of the exact words you used in the post. I want Chairman to review your post before we bring it to you, and it normally will require his leave. So I want to follow that due process. All right, thank you.
That is his post.
Yes, please, can you read aloud the very post you made, the content, please?
Mr. Chairman, this is a post I made on the 20th of October 2024. I posted, "Is this true?" with 3 question marks. And I said, "Facts, not emotions." No, the JSC who sat on Friday to injunct an action that had already taken effect. These justices were all appointed to the Supreme Court by one person, outgoing President Akufo-Addo. 1. Gertrude Saki Tokono, JSC 2019. Mariama Owusu, JSC 2019. Ernest Geu, JSC 2022. Yao Asaridakun, JSC 2023. Kwame Adibu Esiedu, JSC 2022. Another fact of notice is that the case was filed on Friday, called on same Friday, moved on same Friday, and detailed ruling given same Friday. Also note that the plaintiff is a minority leader and MP for Efutu, Winneba, in brackets. If you care, confirm for yourself that the presiding justice hailed from Winneba. You may form your own opinion to determine whether or not what happened is politics or law.
Before I delve into the specifics of this your post made on the 20th of October, I want to know from you, now that you are coming into public office, how would you react to a post like this by any citizen of Ghana?
Mr. Chairman, I think that generally citizens have the right to air their views, and as far as it is not injurious to me, I will take it in good strides. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So let's deal with the paragraph that comes after the name Kwame Adibo Asiedu JSC 2022. In other words, that paragraph that starts with another fact. Now, at the time you were doing this post, did you know the nature of the particular application you were referring to which was filed? Did you know? You were a law student. Did you know the application that had been filed?
Mr. Chairman, if my memory serves me right, I think that it was an application to set aside a ruling by the Speaker of Parliament. I think so.
Yes, so yes, rightly so. But what I'm saying is that the very nature of the application, had you cited it?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So on the basis of not knowing the nature of the application, don't you think that describing the application as having been filed Friday, called same day, moved same day with a detailed ruling was basically born out of ignorance and also to mislead the public? Because you had not cited the application. You don't know what was filed, yet you put it out there questioning the conduct of the justices of the Supreme Court.
Mr. Chairman, I put it as another fact. If it so happens that that fact was wrong and that it was not an application filed and dealt with on the same day, then I think I got it wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, but let's situate it properly. And just for the purposes of education, I don't know the level of legal education thus far because you say you are not done. But you know that in court, when you are filing a process to invoke the jurisdiction of the court, you can either go on notice or another way. You know that?
Yes, or ex parte.
Ex parte, correct. I wanted it to come from you. Now, you know how an ex parte application is dealt with, correct? At least.
The basics I know.
What is it? If you know, share. If you don't know, it's fine. I'll provide you that information. If you know, you can share. Whatever you know about it, you can share.
Mr. Chairman, is where a party goes before the court.
Right.
Without the notice of the supposed party to the case.
Correct. So when you go, it means that you are invoking some agency, correct?
Yes.
Good. Therefore, there is nothing wrong with a call for a court to hear you same day and determine the matter if you are going ex parte, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I agree with that.
Right. And at the time you posted this, you did not know whether the application was on notice or ex parte, correct?
Yes.
So I'm letting you know that this application was an ex parte application. And with what you've explained thus far, what do you say to this very paragraph of your post?
Mr. Chairman, if I'm allowed to seek leave and amend that paragraph.
Oh, this is a post you have on social media. So I'm just giving you the opportunity because now you are in public life. All right, the shoe has changed. So I just want you, in all fairness, what have you to say to this?
Mr. Chairman, if I knew that there was an ex parte application, probably that paragraph would have been put in another manner, not to create the impression of what the current paragraph seeks to create. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate that. Your next point also notes that, read it, your next paragraph, read it.
The last but one paragraph, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
Also note that the plaintiff is the minority leader and the MP for Efutu.
Okay, so stop there. As at the time you were writing this, was the plaintiff a minority leader? You had put at the top the facts, not emotions.
That was contentious.
Mr. Chairman, this is a
because there had been a rule. No, it's not a there was a ruling by the Court of Justice. The highest court of the land had made a determination. You are a law student. You want to join the noble profession. You want to be called to the bar and become a practitioner in our court and to defend human rights and the Constitution. I'm asking you, at the time you wrote this, was Afenyo Markin the minority leader? Or it was a political statement?
Mr. Chairman, there was a political twist to it. Thank you, Mr.
But
Chairman.
we also defer to you as minority leader. That's why we occupy majority seats. So to the
now, it is one thing saying that I would describe the majority leader Afenyo Markin as a minority leader, and another thing writing the minority leader Afenyo Markin and having a caption fact. So having come to the conclusion that you were doing a political twist, what have you to say to this paragraph?
Mr. Chairman, I want to take back the use of a minority leader. I think that it was unfair to the Honorable MP for Efutu, who the court had ruled, setting aside the decision of the Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. We are done with that. Chair, please. Once we are going through this exercise gently, I mean, there is no contention. We can't drag matters. I mean, the jury is out there, and it's... Ernest, I'm not exacting a pound of flesh, just for you to know that I believe that the quality of mercy is not strained and it always drops as a gentle rain from heaven upon the earth beneath. So don't worry. Is that okay? We are in this together, all right?
I'm fine.
Very well. So what you are reading now, what is before you now, was also one of your posts you did in 2019, August 22nd, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Please read the post aloud.
Mr. Chairman, this is a post I made on 22nd August 2019. Ghanaians will remember President Akufo-Addo for three things. One, stealing and corruption.
Okay, stay there. We'll pick step by step. Step by step. Brogya.
Leader.
At the time you made this post, had you any evidence of President Akufo-Addo involving any stealing? Because if you had said the Akufo-Addo government, that honorable member who has just joined Parliament, the greatest respect to you.
Honorable Minority Leader, just ignore and address the chair.
Yeah, Chairman, please. You and I are supposed to ensure order. Please. You're not a member of the committee. You're not a friend of the committee. Good conduct helps you to grow in politics. This thing is a learning process, so be here to learn. The posts, if you had said the Akufo-Addo government, I'm a politician, you're a politician, you can make a general statement against a government, which is your bona fide, no problem. But I can say that there is corruption in the Mahama administration, a political statement. But if I go and say President Mahama has stolen, that's a different matter. And it is going directly at him. Or if I say Brogya Gyamfi will be remembered for stealing, that's a different matter. So I want to know from you that this very post, Akufo-Addo remembered for three things. One, stealing and corruption. Had you any evidence of any stealing by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the then president of Ghana, at the time you made this post?
Mr. Chairman, the post was actually in reference to the government of President Akufo-Addo. But I think that the government did not show up.
Brogya, I have the character reference from three important people. I have it here as part of the due diligence we did. They describe you as a very meticulous and diligent person. I have it here. I was going to read that to you as part of your virtues to encourage you in your ministry. Encourage you in your work as a deputy minister. You are very diligent and you are also meticulous. This post has been on your wall since 2019. We are in 2025, February 28. 28 February. You don't think that you can do better than what you've just said? You don't think you can do better than that? Thus far, you've done fairly well. Don't think that you can do better than this. You are now coming into public service. The man you described with these words turns 81 very soon. All right? He's human as you are. What have you to say to him? I know you can do better than this.
Mr. Chairman, we are all learning and growing in politics. I think that there is more room for improvement. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No, when you say earnest, when you say there is more room for improvement, are you making a general statement of more room for there is a specific matter related to you, and I need you to respond if you at all want to make amends. But don't make a sweeping statement, Mr. Chairman, we are learning, there's more room for improvement. For the time being, you are the one on oath, and there's a specific matter related to your post against the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I said, what do you say to that? And I know you can do better than this.
Mr. Chairman, what I mean is that the intent at the time was to refer to the government. And so once that was omitted and you drawing my attention to it, it tells me that we are growing and we can do better. I was not...
Therefore, it tells you that we are growing and we can do better. Therefore,
Mr. Chairman, therefore, given the opportunity, I would not put it as I did.
in other words, with the benefits of hindsight. Is that what you want to say?
Of course, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sure. So, on point 2 and 3, point 2 and 3, I take those as very political statement. I don't take it against you. You talk about family and friends, cronies government. It's a political statement. 3, profligacy in government, political statement. I do not take it against you. However, don't you think that this statement, these 2 points you made, were just too much alleged? Because in government today, you realize that there are families, relations, who by virtue of their role are getting appointment, correct?
Mr. Chairman, with the first part or the second part?
I'm dealing with the two together. Okay, so let's deal with the first one. I agree, you are right. Let's leave the third one, the last one out. Let's deal first with the family and friends in government. And let me put the question properly. That don't you think that you went rather too hard on the NPP government? Because in this government, there are families and friends, relations, by virtue of their very work they've done for the party, are getting appointment because they've worked for it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think that if the government is populated by family, friends, or cronies, you may want to look at it negatively. I think that people can express their opinions if that is what they perceive the government to be, by not impugning any ill motive. And if I have to take from, because the 3 things were in reference to the introduction, that Ghanaians will remember President Akufo-Addo for family, friends, cronies government. If it's established that there were family, friends in the government, I think that that's a matter of fact, and may not, once I did not really say they have done anything that is untoward or wrongly, then I think, Leader, you may accept this one. Thank you.
We want him to counter.
So, but at the time you made this post, you used the word, if the government is populated by family. Was it the case that the Akufo-Addo's government was populated by his family members? Is that what you are saying? And if we count all the appointees, all the ministers, and we say that count how many of his family members were in, the context you put it, populated, was that the case?
Mr. Chairman, in all honesty, I don't know, and I could not have known all members of the Akufo-Addo government, but at least I knew a couple of family members who were in the government.
And you know a couple of family and friends in this government as well, correct? If you don't know, should I furnish you? Yes. Or you do, but you are making a political statement. I mean, let's be fair to the facts. Let's be fair to the facts. Yes, I've put the question. I mean, answer and let's go, whichever way you want to look at it.
Mr. Chairman,
were you making a political statement?
You yourself
You should confirm.
Mr. Chairman, which one do I answer first?
It's okay. It's okay. Let's go, Mr. Chairman. Ernest. What at all, from this post, what at all was your problem with the Chief Justice of the Republic? Tell us, what at all was your personal problem with the Chief Justice of the Republic?
Mr. Chairman, I have no problem with the Chief Justice.
Was there any discretionary power she had exercised that you had a problem with, which you considered capricious and whimsical?
Mr. Chairman, from this post, I didn't consider any decision or the exercise of discretion by the Chief Justice which was capricious, not at all, from what I see here.
Ernest, you tag the person, Chief Justice and Minister of Justice. Then you proceed with Article 296. My question to you is that, to what was this post for?
Mr. Chairman, I was...
Statement. Was it a political statement so that we make progress? Was it a political statement?
Mr. Chairman, I was quoting the Constitution.
Fair enough. Move to the next one. The one you posted 20th July 2017.
Mr. Chairman, this was a political statement.
It was a political statement.
Yes.
So nothing was cooked at the NPP headquarters?
No.
Chairman, that will be all for the nominee. Thank you.